Hey guys, it's day 13 of Ada, and today I'm going to do a quick recommendation of books, I guess is the best way I can put it. I will probably review the books at some point, but I'll do them individually, whereas today I'm going to give you 5, maybe 6 LGBT themed books that I've read in the last year and enjoyed enough to tell you guys about it. 4 of them are based around trans characters, and 2 of them, well, one's a gay guy and one of them is about a lesbian. Unfortunately, I don't really know of many gender neutral / gender queer books, so if you guys know of any, please put them down in the description and I will probably read them. I'm pretty sure all of these are young adult fiction books. If that's not what you're into, then I recommend you not watch this video because it's just not going to interest you in the slightest. But if you're willing to read anything and give anything a go, then keep watching. Okay, so this isn't going to be in any particular order, I don't think. Literally just the order that I've stacked them. So the first book is Parrot Fish by Ellen Whitling. What I'll do is I'll read the blurb. One little thing changes and suddenly everything is different. Angela Kat McNair has never felt quite right as a girl. Her whole life has led up to the day she decides to become Grady, a guy. While coming out as transgendered, that's incorrect, feels right to Grady, he isn't prepared for the reactions of his friends and family. His mother is upset, his little sister is mortified, and his best friend Eve won't talk to him in public. Why can't people just let Grady be himself? Grady's life is miserable until he finds friends in unexpected places. School geek Sapien, who tells Grady there is a precedent of transgenders, in the natural world, and Kita, a senior who might just be Grady's first love. With their help, can Grady find support and acceptance? Can he finally be comfortable as his true self? So it's a good book, minus the fact that they use the word transgendered and transgenders. I think that's one thing that bothered me about this book, is that there was incorrect terminology, and I think that just really bugged me. But it happens in most of the books, which is really unfortunate. But I really enjoyed the book itself. It's a good book. Number 2 is Beautiful Music for Ugly Children by Kirsten Cron Mills. I read this one within a few days. It was hard to put down, basically. This is Beautiful Music for Ugly Children on Community Radio 90.3 KZ UK. I'm Gabe, welcome to my show. My birth name is Elizabeth, but I'm a guy, Gabe. My parents think I've gone crazy and the rest of the world is happy to agree with them, but I know I'm right. I've been a boy my whole life. When you think about it, I'm like a record. Elizabeth is my A side, the song everybody knows, and Gabe is my B side, not heard as often but just as good. It's time to let my B-side play. He's a radio DJ, and I really enjoy the way that he explains that in this book. I think that's really cool, the way that he thinks about it and the way he explains it to people. And it's just a really easy read as well. Book number 3, The Art of Being Normal by Lisa Williamson. I tend to read books about FTM transgender kids, guys who feel like they've been born in the wrong body and all of that jazz. This one was the other way around, and I'm so glad that I read it. Let me read the back to you. 2 outsiders, 2 secrets. David longs to be a girl, Leo wants to be invisible. When Leo stands up for David in a fight, an unlikely friendship forms, but things are about to get messy, because at Eden Park School, secrets have a funny habit of not staying secret for long. I'm pretty sure this is the one where one chapter is from Leo's point of view, and then the next one is from David's point of view, and I'm fairly certain David is the one who is male to female, and I'm pretty sure his chosen name is Kate. But yeah, this one I read really quickly as well, and it's quite a thick book for me. I pick thin books because I have a tendency to lose interest in a book, which is really annoying, or I find it too daunting to pick up a thick book and be like, yeah, I'm gonna read this, because I'm a fairly slow reader. Number 4, I Am Jay. This one came up on my Amazon recommended, and I'm glad I bought it because it was cheap and interesting. Jay had always felt different. He was certain that eventually everyone would understand who he really was, a boy mistakenly born as a girl. Yet, as he grew up, his body began to betray him. Eventually, Jay stopped praying to wake up a real boy and started covering up his body, keeping himself invisible from his parents, from his friends, from the world. But after being deserted by a friend he thought would always be by his side, Jay decides that he's done hiding. He's ready to be who he really is, and this time he is determined not to give up no matter the cost. This one was quite a hard read because I'm fairly certain his family don't accept him, and then obviously his best friend leaves him. I will reread all of these books and I will do reviews on all of them because now I'm reading the blurbs, I want to read them again. Number 5. Simon versus the Homo Sapien Agenda. Straight people should have to come out too, the more awkward it is, the better. Simon Spire is 16 and trying to work out who he is and what he's looking for. But when one of his emails to the very distracting Blue falls into the wrong hands, things get all kinds of complicated. Because for Simon, falling for Blue is a big deal. It's a holy freaking huge awesome deal. This one's about the gay guy. I think this one was probably the most teenager-esque one that I've read. Got a bit awkward because there's like a sexual scene in it. Yeah, it was quite interesting to read it from like a gay man's point of view. Well, a gay teenager point of view. And this book tore my heart into 1,000 pieces. I had to put it down a few times and just walk away. And it's called Becoming Bobby, and it's by R.J. Stevens. But I thought this was going to be a trans book. It's not. It's about a lesbian. This is my story, but I'm not much of a storyteller. The memories just seem to get jumbled up. It's a funny thing about memories. You bury them. You bury them so deep that you think you've forgotten them. But you haven't. Sometime, somewhere, something happens to trigger them. Growing up as a bona fide tomboy in the shadow of her fashionable ladylike mother, Bobby lives for 3 things: cars, music, and the time with her uncomplicated mechanic dad. She doesn't need much in the way of friends. Her best girlfriends are on the radio. Women with names like Aretha, Janice, and Diane. And she loves the cool logic of working on engines, the simple joy of finding the part that doesn't work, of fixing what's broken. But what's broken beneath the shiny facade of her family is something beyond Bobby's control, a shattering secret that tears her family apart and sends Bobby into a spiral of anger and defiance that she finds echoed only in the electric pain of rock and roll. Moving from school to school as a professional new kid and all-round loner, Bobby wonders if she'll ever fit in anywhere, especially as uncomfortable new feelings begin to surface. Shunned by her peers, abandoned by her disapproving mother, Bobby finds herself drawn to the sympathetic English teacher, Agatha Claraday. It is her undeniable attraction to the lovely, enigmatic Agatha that changes everything and starts Bobby on a life-altering odyssey of self-discovery, from the dark side of the moon to My Little Secret and beyond, on the redemptive search for love, for a place in the world, and for a space within that feels like home, where becoming Bobby means everything about being herself. But in the book, she writes letters to someone, and it doesn't explain who the someone is until right near the end, and that's one of the times I had to put down the book and be like, what? Those are some books that you could possibly read if you're looking for LGBT themed books, and I will review them as and when I can. You guys will see me tomorrow, and have a great day. Bye.